2 kilometers. So what will be the total displacement in this case? 8.4 plus 2. So this is 8.4 plus 2 kilometers. Is that okay? Right. So this should be equal to 10.4 kilometers. So x2 is equal to 10.4 kilometers. So far it's clear, there is no problem. So we know that the displacement is, as we have studied before, delta x, we have studied this formula. It's the change between the two positions, which is delta x, x2 minus x1. So x2 was 10.4 kilometers, x1 was 0, we subtracted and this is the answer. Okay? So you have solved part A. Was it difficult? No, it's easy, right? Now let's go to part B. Okay, because this is an example, all the parts have not been written together, but if it's a quiz or an exam or an assignment, all your parts will be written one after the other, right? Because now the second one is, what do you have to find? The time, delta t. The time interval from the beginning when you started to drive your truck to the time you arrived at the petrol station. That's the time interval we want. Okay. Now the time interval we know okay, so the time interval we took some time, so this from here to here you took 30 minutes to walk to the station, right, which we said should be in hours, which is 0.5 hours. We don't know this time. Okay, we have to find this time, right? So how will we do this? Okay, we know, okay, very good. Yes, the formula, we will use the formula for velocity, which is V average is equal to this one. V average is equal to delta x over delta t, but this part of the motion is called the driving motion, dr, and this part of the motion is called the walking motion. Okay, so we want this time, so we want the time for the driving motion. So we are going to find only, we are going to apply delta x over delta t only to this part. Okay, so when you look at this is the formula. So when you have this, you can take it to this side, you will get delta x over v. Delta x is given to be 8.4 kilometers, right? And the velocity has been given as 70 kilometer per hour. Okay, so when you do this, this is what you get. So this time is how much? This one comes out to be 0.12 hour. Remember the units, okay? Since we are using everything in hours, so this one, the answer is also in hours. Okay. Now, therefore, the question was, what is the time interval from the beginning of your drive to the time you arrived at the station? So he wants the time starting from here to here, total. Okay. So this one will be the sum of 0.12 and 0.5 hours. So this is your answer. This one. So we've done part B. Any questions? So we have done this. We've done A, we've done B. Now we can go to C. C part is, the question is about the average velocity. Okay. So what is the average velocity from the beginning of your drive to the station? This velocity was just for the driving part of the motion, right? But now the question is about the whole motion, which starts from the time you start to drive to the time that you stop your truck because there is no petrol, and then you start walking and then you reach the station. We want to know the overall average. Okay, right. And again they have asked you to find it numerically and graphically. They want you to also, like I showed you last time, we can also explain motion in terms of graphs, and also in the lab you have seen that we can plot the graphs, right? Okay. So, we know that the ratio of displacement, which was 10.4 kilometers for the entire trip, divided by the time, which is 0.62. So, we can use these values, right, 0.62 and 10.4. The answers we found in part number A and B, and we can use that to find the average velocity. So, delta x over delta t is this divided by 0.62 and you get 16.8, and then they rounded it off to 17. So, that is your answer. So, you have solved the numerical part of the problem. Now, the graphical part of the problem. So, here we have a graph. आप 10-10 मिनट की बना रहे हो ना? Okay, so we can see the graph. The graph is between, again, the first step and the most important step is to understand what's along the x-axis and what's along the y-axis. Okay, so along the x-axis we have time, along the y-axis we have position. The unit we are using for time, and also whenever you draw your graph, you should also, first of all, you put the quantities, then you put the units. So, the unit for time we are using in this case is hours. Many a times we use seconds. Okay, for this one we are using hours. For the position we are using kilometers. Okay, so now this part of the line shows the driving part. This part of the line shows the walking part. This is where your truck stopped because there was no gasoline, and then you walked towards the petrol station or the gas station. Now, there can be many possibilities of many paths you could take. They have taken one example. You understand that? You could have taken a slightly different, but the answer will come out to be the same. Why? Because it's actually this line that will give you the answer. Because we want the average velocity for the complete motion. We don't care the path you are taking. You could have taken any random path. At the end of the day, you had to measure from the initial position to the final position, and that will always remain the same according to the calculation we did up. Okay? So, according to the calculation that we did, along the x-axis we have delta t. This was 0.62 hours. We have it here. Along the y-axis, the total distance came out to be 10.4, and this line, the slope of this line, if we are using the graphical method, velocity is equal to the slope of the position time graph. Okay. So, we have to find this slope. We know the slope is again this divided by this, delta x divided by delta t. Okay, and when you do that, of course, you get the same answer like you got before. So, we have solved it both numerically and graphically. Okay, now there is a D part as well. So, it is interesting, right? Because this example really is using all the concepts that we studied before. So, it helps you clarify the concepts. The best way to clarify the concepts is to solve a problem, not to memorize it. Okay? You can memorize it and not understand it, but when you are solving something, you understand it. And if you make a mistake, it is fine. Don't worry, don't panic. You can go back again, read the concept again, and then come back and solve it again. Okay? So, there is nothing to be worried about. Making mistakes is fine. Okay? Right. So, now let us suppose that when you went to the station, the gas pump, right, and you paid for the petrol that you bought, and then you walked back to the truck, and the time that you took was 45 minutes. Okay? Now, what is your average speed from the beginning of your drive to your return to the truck with the gasoline? Now, first we were talking about two parts of the motion, the driving part, the walking part to the station. Now we are also talking about you coming back. And when you were walking towards the station, you took 30 minutes, but when you are coming back, you were tired and you took 45 minutes. So, you have to now, your story has become bigger, right? Okay. Now, so what is average speed? Average speed is the ratio of the total distance divided by the total time. So, in this case, remember one thing, did you notice a change? In the first three parts of the problem, we were talking about velocity, and in the fourth part, we are talking about speed. There is a change. Remember, speed and velocity sound similar, but they are not the same thing. Okay? So, please keep that in mind, number one. Number two, since we were talking about velocity in the beginning part of the problem, velocity is dependent upon displacement.